All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Rapid Respawn, Tim. You've been playing Deathloop.
I have.
Now, have you gotten to play a lot of it, or are you just in the kind of at the beginning of it still?
I'm a couple hours, or I'd say 3 hours into it at this point. Like, right
Right, so
now I'm
you've played a
in the
decent chunk.
gas chamber room. And
Okay.
from what I see, I don't think it's intended for you to be able to complete it yet or something. Because
There's a lot of
I
stuff
keep,
that you can't like totally do the first time you come across it. That'll come up a lot in that game.
yeah, so I think I just gotta die for this. Because it's like match the two levers with the two numbers, but there's only one matching pair.
Sure.
And so I think they don't intend you to complete this until you've, like, because there's the first few missions where it's like sending you to a specific place for a specific thing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean the idea is that eventually you will learn like like a perfect order, right, to do everything in so that you can complete the game in where you can actually do everything in a single go. But it's going to take you a while to be able to get to that. Now, Tim, I am thrilled because uh, new installments of, and I guess now they're episodes. Before they were just shorts. Now they actually are episodes. But Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared has made a return. Now, do you know what that is? Have you ever heard of that before?
I do.
You do?
I've dabbled.
Now, did you know that they straight up brought it back as a like 20-minute episode like show now?
I did not.
Well, you should definitely look into that because well, it's just as ridiculous and weird and strange as all the shorts were, and I am thrilled. Good thing to do some drugs and get into. All
I
right. Well, oh sorry.
I was gonna say, just that series in particular is tremendous for that.
Oh hell yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do this jail interrogation, whatever we got going on here. Reminds you of a well-used practice. He doesn't even really look that different outside of having his little sigil thing ripped off his cloak. Like he's got a little bit of a bruise under one eye, but he doesn't look like nearly as fucked up. Like, oh, I can't. Like he said, he can't speak right now. He doesn't look that fucked up. You know? I don't know. Maybe they. I guess they just didn't want to draw like a whole extra portrait, so they just were like, just add a couple details to make him look all messed up.
Yeah, give him a couple bruises, that'll show him.
Well, I mean, he's missing the hand, but I can't remember. Was he already one-handed before this, or did they cut his hand off just now when they were torturing him? He already lost that before, right?
Yeah, he already lost that.
Hmm. I mean, you did, yeah. I don't know if failed is the right word because he seems to have a lot of power despite being in jail. I don't know if you call that a failure. I'd never set foot in Arborang. Yeah, yeah. No, well, he got there. He did get there. I
This
mean,
is
yeah,
all part of his
I know.
master plan.
I mean, I think so. It seems like it to me. He seems like he knows exactly what's going on, but save the king from Rugga's nasty poison trick. Curious that the Menders can't do it. Before we talk business, do you play Taffle? Familiar with the board game? then you know it's not about a game. The secret to Cataphel is that pawns and kings are details. It's about being able to see further ahead than your opponent. You know that sinking feeling when you're looking at the table and the game's not over yet, but you know it's over. You've got to just sit there and keep playing. Have you gotten used to it yet? Tough words from someone rotting in a prison cell. Think harder. While I wait safely in the cell, my loyalists gather strength and numbers. They are preparing. Meinolf's life is mine to save. If I let him die, his support crumbles. His control of Arborang is over. And if he martyrs me, my men will run snarling through the streets, wolves amongst your sheep, who will prevail. They can find us far from sheep. Truth is not everyone wants to be swaddled and told everything will be fine. Oh, you're just about to go and take a nap, Yoshino? Well, I hope you have a good nap. I hope you have a good nap. Naps are nice. I don't nap often, but when I do, it is nice. Tim, do you enjoy a good nap?
I
What are your
do,
nap thoughts?
but naps for me run either a good nap or I wake up feeling disoriented and angry.
Interesting. I can't say I've ever had that experience.
It's like disoriented at like shit, what time even is it? And then angry at how much time I wasted being asleep.
I mean, I feel like being asleep is never a waste of time.
True.
I don't know. It's good for your brain. Well, depending, honestly. I mean, there's a there's something to be said for when you're older. Too much sleep can actually accelerate
Yeah.
the chances of dementia. But that's also when you're old, not just throughout, not necessarily throughout your life. That's specifically when you're older. And will come back at me twice as hard. Yeah, that was clearly a threat. It can work for you if you'll just be reasonable. What are you prepared to do for me? Well, what do you want? Just the if he steps down. Wow. Okay. Scream pierce even the thick walls of the cell, and oddly lifts herself up to look out the small prison window. All right, that conversation did not get to continue. Oh shit. Oh shit. Did he have a mustache? Did he have like a tuning fork mustache?
That's kind of what it seems like.
It really kind of looked like that. Is this the other one? Because they mentioned uh, there's three Sunders that they've named. We've seen two. Is this that other one that they mentioned but we hadn't seen yet?
This would be Ray's.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I couldn't remember the name, but there's too many. Shit. Yeah, Rook, you can hang back. I need you to be
Yeah,
alive.
old rookie.
In fact, Hakan, why don't you stand in front of Rook? What's your... Yeah. Oh, fuck off with the tuning fork bullshit. Well, Tim, anything else that you've been doing? Any other particularly interesting things going
I've
on?
I suppose not particularly. Aside from also going hard at Neo and having to stop because that game is really fucking hard.
Is that on the same level as Souls, or is it more difficult?
I would say it's on the same level. It's just got different combat style. Like it's a faster
Right.
paced combat.
So of course that means then you know, no matter how used to souls you might be,
Yeah, that's not something I'm quite accustomed to yet.
yeah, it's just a
Cause like
whole other system.
yeah, that's about as far as it's not like dramatically different, but it's different enough that it's just learning the cadence and the different kinds of move sets and like
Jesus, their
when to use
health is
each
high
one.
level. God damn. Whew. Damn. Damn. Fuck, dude. That dude just started with 25. Yeah, you bitch slap him with that mace. Well, so what are your thoughts? What are your feelings on Deathloop? Fucking hell, 14. Jesus.
So far, I am loving it.
One of the things I thought was like I wasn't expecting it even necessarily, but that I ended up I was loved about it was how surprisingly funny it actually is. Like the writing is like there's a lot of genuine like really good comedy to it.
Oh yeah, it is pretty surprising how funny some of this stuff ended up being when I don't think that that's what they were. It's like I don't think that was the main goal. Well, or maybe it was. They did make a fun fucking game. I can say that much.
I definitely, I mean, it wasn't like the main goal of the whole thing, but I definitely think there was. I think they spent probably a lot of time on that because, well, also like, uh, you know, Dishonored is not like a particularly humorous game, too. Like that's not like Dishonored's not like super funny. Like yeah, just take your armor out.
Kill those shadows of the Colossus.
That is exactly what they look like, though. Which I mean, we know why, but yeah. Also, this battle is not going well. Hakan went down like immediately. I'm just trying to protect Rook because I know he could deal a lot of damage. Shit, I can't even get over there to fucking take out the dude that is summoning more fucking guys. God, shit. All right. Yeah, just stay there and hopefully just buy me enough time to. Yeah, alright. Get rid of you first. Fuck! Oh my god. Try and at least create a fucking wall between us. Jesus, 28. That is insane. That is too much health. He's still gonna just take me out in one hit. Fuck. Alright, well. Well, that didn't go well. Shit. Alright, well, it wasn't a game over screen. I feel like I'm gonna get like a terrible ending because because I keep losing so many of these fights.
No, maybe.
Set the dredge, maybe other clansmen, maybe they're distracted by easier prey. Oddleaf drags you to your feet. We need a plan over the rigging. She shouts over the rigging in your ears. Cuts you off as you rush frantically to find your clansman. Hero, I just imagined you'd come this way, then you did. Could tell by your face it was you. Trigby, what is it? Poor time to chat. Don't worry, I got nothing to say. Then why are you stopping me?
Yeah.
Okay, then help me find. I do have a question though. Well, that's something to say. Have you seen the moon? Oh my god, dude. I really feel Rook's frustration in this moment. Dredge destroying the walls right now. No, that's asunder. The dredge are just walking right through. Definitely going to need my luck. Have you seen it? You talking about your moon necklace? Trigby, speak clearly. What's clear is that the sun never brought anyone luck. Clear as a mug of mead. Do you drink? I could use one right now. Mead solves all sorts of problems. The cause of and solution to all of life's problems. Big old burly barrels of mead, solving delicious problems. Problem it can't solve is once you've drank it, it's gone. Profound. Come on, help us fight and we'll share around. Well, he did just help us fight. You guys 3 or 4 already. Why stop now? Are we already dead? Oh my god. If so, I am going to rest my feet. They say walk in another man's shoes, but what if they don't fit? These sure don't, and they're my shoes. It's just an expression. Oh, like, do the right thing, especially if it gets you killed. That's definitely not right. It definitely is. I've been told that one a few times. I'm not sure you understand what's happening here. I do, actually. Know what they say behind my back? Not Trigby's handsome, not Trigby's brave. Those are the words I say to myself. Someone should say them. I know something's wrong with me. I just can't see through the dark and the fog sometimes. In my head. That's why I carried around a moon. Do you know what I mean? I think so. Ha, liar. I don't even know what I mean. God damn it. This is like having Ulysses on your, like, battle committee. Just asking questions in the middle of something else. My necklace was right here the whole time. Looks different than I remember. Must be in my imagination. Now let's go stab some dogs to death. Dredge, Trigby, dredge. If we have time. I like Trigby.
Trigby is he's a Charlie, essentially.
Yeah, that fits, honestly. That fits. Let's see, I just wanted to check one thing real quick. Wow, okay. No, okay. Alright. Alright, let's do it. Again, the Black Acre crashes through the wall above your head, stopping in midair before flinging back, shredding the wood. What in the depths, you shout? Grim tidings. I've heard stories of a sunder called Ruin who could do such things. It tore down the fortresses of old Varl kings. Pulls that anchor thing back toward itself, then takes off at a full sprint toward where the Varl are gathered. Come with me, she shouts. Jeez. Alright. Wait, is Hakan where Oddleaf? Okay. We catch up to Oddleaf. She's already mid-argument with Hakan and Fasalt. Is it Fasalt? Am I saying that right? Fasalt?
Fasalt.
Fasalt? Okay. For this to work, we need to cooperate. Slow down. Stop shouting at me, woman. Been around them too long, Hakan. Why are we even listening to this? Gods, you're all starting to sound like Rugga. Don't you get it? We either work together or we die. What is this even about? Yeah, what's going on? She expects the Varl to be her beasts of burden. That's not what I said. Look, Ruin's shredding the walls with some kind of thrown anchor. We can't reach him from here. Made me think of something Rugga said. Everything you throw at me comes back twice as hard. The Varl gathered every oil barrel we can find in Arborang. Bring them here. We can wrap them up in a net. Next time Ruin hurls its anchor into the wall, Horseborn race along the top and drop the netting around it. Ruin pulls the barrels back onto herself. Oh. Yeah, no, I see where you're going with this. Gather every archer we can find. Ursa and the other archers can organize a volley of flaming arrows down on her, and boom! Will that be enough? I don't know, but it beats standing here measuring our loyalties. Sounds to me like a lot of things ready to go wrong. While we're not great lovers of fire, if you've forgotten. Why haul barrels when we can meet the Sunder on the field of battle? Would Yorander have lowered himself like this in the Great Wars? I won't lie, the battlefield calls to me. Why are you Varl so obsessed with rushing off to battle? I know, I get it. I don't know. It's totally self-explanatory. Ever since Fasalt showed up, you've been acting like you've got a death wish, Hakan. Ah, this one. You think we're just large men with simple minds. I've been alive for hundreds of years. You rush around fearing for your short lives like babies calling for their mothers. How we live is more important than how long. And you destroy our Fane bridge, then act like it's nothing. Like you did us a favor, you short-sighted arrogant. Fasalt is a poor diplomat, but he's not wrong. Eintracht was the last evidence of our existence. That bridge should have outlived the Varl who made it. I do not want to eke out a few weeks, a few more days, cowering behind a wall. I do not want to carry barrels when I could die with the blade in my hand. We are the last of our kind. We are Varl. I did not say that as loudly as he probably did. See, just do us this favor and you'll have your fight, I promise. Hakan grunts coming down from his battle cry. If there's a chance to turn the odds in our favor. You used to be harder than steel, Hakan. Now you turn into a lapdog when they ask you to beg. Watch your tone. Things change, Vasalt. Never asked to lead the Varl. Now I have to think of more than myself. Don't worry then, Hakan. Let me give you a few less Varl to lead. Oh, okay, alright. Varl Civil War coming up. No. I'm sure that does not escalate into its own entire conflict. Although if the third game had been longer, maybe it could have. Oh, he's at a temper, he did. He's really turning his back on you like the... So, Tim, how much of this is still different from your playthrough at this point?
I'd say a fair bit.
Like, did this conversation even happen for you?
Yes, it actually did.
Okay, so this... Well, I suppose because this is based around something that was gonna... An enemy that was gonna show up no matter what choices you made. So, that makes sense. Don't get comfortable giving me orders. And whatever you do, don't let that fence of toothpicks fall before I'm back. Shit. That's a lot. That was a lot. Alright. Whew, excuse me. Scothic gallops to you, breathing hard, gesturing quickly. Gather that the dredge are assaulting from the front gates all the way down to the water's edge. Sunder is just going to brute force the wall, top of the whole thing, and this will become a killing field. Bad news from our clansmen, many dead or missing, some to dredge, others to bedlam. Could have been worse, but it's all going wrong since the Sunder showed up. Jeez. Terrified villagers scream at the sight of Dredge breaching the wall, and mobs of people crush together, trying to escape in any direction they can. Gather anyone who can hold a weapon. You shout. We travel down the wall, pushing back the Dredge until those barrels are ready. Well, we'll see if this fight goes better than the last one. Because the last one didn't go that well. Didn't go that well at all. Now, Tim, we're only... Let's see, what's the date today? The 8th? We are only 20 days away from the 8-year wait for Bayonetta 3 being over. Oh, fuck, everybody's also injured already. God, I didn't even think to rest between. Great. Alright. Alright, fuck it. Just whatever. Harden your body against pain. Alright. save. All right. Well, this is probably gonna go terrible. I didn't rest. All right. And he's gonna keep tearing holes in the wall. One thing at a time. Dredge first. Oh god. I'm gonna really try and move like as a unit this time. See if we can make that happen. I can't do that diagonally, I guess. Oh, what the? Oh, is that like a big one of those things? All right. Fun, all little invisible fuckers. All right. All right, we got the big one. We got the big one. That seems significant. Hey, why are you going over there for the furthest possible person away? Hey, get over here. Let's see. So okay, we got Bayonetta 3 coming up. Then very shortly after that, we have God of War Ragnarok. Then very shortly after that, we have the Callisto Protocol. Then very shortly after that, the Dead Space remake. Then very shortly after that, the Resident Evil 4 remake. And very shortly after that, we apparently, I was just reading today, are going to have the System Shock remake finally coming out too.
And still no Bloodborne remake.
I mean, I know a lot of people want a Bloodborne. I've heard that a lot. But it also, doesn't it seem like that's, of all the games, like that seems too new to remake. I mean, maybe a remaster would be one thing. I guess the main thing is I know people want it to play in like 60 frames per second. Like, I think that's the big, that seems to be the big thing, right? Is like, oh, if we could get it to play in 60 frames per second, it would make it,
That,
the
or
smooth
at least
experience
allow
or whatever.
upscaling.
Well, people have made it 60 frames per second too on PC, but then it like basically breaks how the game plays because the game was designed All right. All right. Tim, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Cool. Well, the nice thing is I think because I did change, I changed a setting so that it would display that little the guy with his head in his hands. So now I believe it should.
The little guy that looks like he's surviving the third mortgage crisis.
So the stream shouldn't end for anybody that does happen to be watching. It shouldn't just like abruptly end. It should actually like with that image stay up for like a moment and then shit, man. But yeah, the stream shouldn't like just be off and crash for people like it did before.
Well, that's good.
Like Ulysses watching like 30 ads. Which I genuinely felt bad for because I was like, that you shouldn't have to watch 30 ads. That's ridiculous. All right, get out of here. All right, get your fucking. Shit. We're close, but I'm. All right, that was good. That was good. We might pull this off. Might be able to pull this off. Especially because these are the guys that like to run away from us. Oh, fuck. Another one of... Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh, he's deflecting a lot of attacks. That last-minute upgrade was really worth it, I guess. Alright. Get rid of you. Alright. Get rid of him. Alright, and I guess now it doesn't matter. Fuck off. Alright. Woo! Okay. Look, Tim, I didn't lose that time.
I'm so proud of you.
Been losing most of the time. Numb arms remind you of chopping lumber back in Scour, but with more blood and fear involved. Other men fill in the gaps where you've moved on. Holding the dredge at bay is easier work than pushing them back. More trouble further down the wall beckons, and there is no time to rest. Good God. This is going to be battle after battle, isn't it? Battle, 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 battle.
Battle.
Sight of a mender surprises you. They've emerged from their libraries and are weaving patterns in the air to repair the splintered wood. It looks like dangerous work. How can we help? Oddleaf shouts out to one standing on rubble, trying to wrestle away a sheared log. He speaks softly, but makes it clear that they need replacement wood and stone to patch the damage. May be dangerous for us to linger long. Petrus tells you, pointing out some watching from a distance, other houses waiting to see what you do, making plans of their own. Said, yeah, let's get the clansmen repairing. Before long, familiar faces arrive carrying fresh building supplies. You reluctantly leave them in harm's way and continue onward. The cause is worthy. You hope it pays off for everyone eventually. Yeah, well, it's a risk we gotta take. Now, Tim, with all these upcoming releases, what are you most looking forward to? God of War, other than God of War, because I feel like that's like the answer, the really easy, obvious one. What's your runner up out of all the stuff coming?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
Because God of War, I feel like is like for most people is going to be the number one.
Um, I want to say it. Um, what is it? Flags and ships, or no? That really
What?
shitty, the really shitty pirate game.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
Yeah, that got delayed to what, March? So I mean, it's
yeah.
still coming in the near future, but dude, I can't believe that game is even still like happening. To be completely honest, I
Mm.
just like at this point, like, there's no way it's going to be profitable.
Well, other than God of War, I'm gonna say Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Nicholas. I mean, I love the survival horror genre, so to see something a spiritual successor to Dead Space, along with a remake of Dead Space. Um, like in the last Callisto Protocol trailer, they even showed in blood somebody had written "shoot off the tentacles" on the wall, and I mean, like, one of the most memorable moments of Dead Space is walking into the room or whatever and picking up your plasma cutter, and it says "cut off their limbs." So I mean, even in just simple like tutorializing like environment details, Callisto Protocol looks like Dead Space 4. It really does. Like, in a good way though. Like, I want that. I wanted more Dead Space. So like, if it could have another name, that's fine. But it's it really does feel like another Dead Space.
Well, that's as someone who hasn't experienced Dead Space, it makes me excited that we're both getting the Dead Space remake and Callisto Protocol.
Well, and what's cool about so one thing that's interesting is originally Glenn Schofield, I think is his name. He was like the kind of the head of the of development for Dead Space and now for Callisto Protocol. But the original idea he had for Dead Space was to set it on like a moon or a planet, and be like a prison colony. And then his team like kind of pushed the on a derelict spaceship idea instead, and so you get Dead Space on the ship. But then now, all these years later, with the Callisto Protocol, it's basically taking the original concept for Dead Space and then fleshing it out into a full game unto itself. But it is the basic idea. It's actually more true to the original basic idea of Dead Space than even Dead Space, because they went back to the drawing board with that concept.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
all the better, right?
exactly, yeah. Space horror is something that it is one of the truly more terrifying things to me. That's why I'm never going to fucking space. This planet is big enough for me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, space is dangerous, man. Space is dangerous. Oh, hey. Haven't seen her in a while. She knows you've seen her, that she drags two boys along by the wrists toward the harbor. I'm leaving. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Where's your other boy? Paper full. Oh, sure, your other kid died? How did that happen? Yeah, I know he's dead. Don't even blame the dredge. Who is to blame for all this? Do you know? Nobody can tell me. I just don't want to be here anymore. Anywhere but here. She pushes past having said her piece. We'll wish her good luck, I guess. I mean, she wants to leave. She wants to leave. But don't you see it yet? There are no right and wrong decisions, just what happens and what does not. Take care of yourself. All right. Bye, Nid. We hardly knew ye. I mean, literally, I barely used that character throughout the whole 3 games. I really didn't.
Yeah, she hasn't exactly
Dogfoot.
leave a huge imprint.
Waving Link's foot around. He's just looking at me like, why? Why? Why must you do this? Families, elderly, and children are still pressed up against the walls in staggering numbers. No room to spread out, they're caught in the midst of marauding dredge. Can't just leave them to fend for themselves, so you wonder what choice you have. Leave your own fighters to protect as many people as possible. Strike hard at the dredge, slaying as many as you can. Call to those nearby to get behind your shields. I feel like we're just gonna burn through fucking... call to those nearby to get behind your shields. I don't know, Tim. What do you think, Tim? At this juncture, what's your advice? Or is this even a significant one? Will this have a significant impact?
Um, I'm gonna say call to those nearby to get behind your shields. Go
Can't help everyone
defensive.
caught in the onslaught, but many unarmed townsfolk scramble to relative safety behind your shields and continue on with your caravan. Alright. I see. This seemed like the best option. Definitely seemed like the best option there. Yeah, you want to be on camera? You want to be a star, don't you? Splitting your time between helping people and fighting dredge is taking its toll, but something else feels wrong. A different kind of wrong. Petra slows you with a hand on your shoulder. Remember those powerful men in Arborang we talked about? I think they've decided to make their move. This is the one everyone's so afraid of, sneers a man with a face tattoo. You remember seeing him amongst Rugga's loyalists. A few dozen grizzled fighters of blades drawn, and you notice they wear the crests of many different houses. Dogs, leave them to me. Petra says, mustering his guards. Rugga's stink is all over this. Go make him end this now, or it'll keep happening. Do whatever it takes. Alright, don't go easy on him. Oh, I won't. Believe me, I've been waiting for this. Okay. We also need to...
Get him, Petrus.
We also need to... Yeah, alright. 2 rest, because everyone's fucked up. Alright. Crash furiously through Rugga's cell door, grabbing his full attention. This has to end. Now. There are people dying by the minute to asunder. The walls falling as we speak, and still your clansmen fight against us. I don't deserve all the credit. There are many players in this game. This is no feigned board game. From what feels far away, bells toll above the... See, you know what? Honestly, this right here is a way better execution of something that I thought we would get in Game of Thrones. Like, just to compare. Because, like, I thought, hey, the zombies in Game of Thrones, they'll eventually show up. The White Walkers, they'll show up and make a big problem. But then there'll still be interesting political, like, backstabbings in the midst of the chaos. And this is a far better, like, execution of that idea than anything we got in Game of Thrones. What are those bells? Tradition. A shame I didn't get to see the blue smoke that goes with it. I've been dreaming of this day. Meinolf, finally dead. Sounds like you need me now, more than ever. You kidding me? You've lost your only... Why should we even let you live now? Last Meinolf died days ago. He just didn't know it. That poison had no cure. When I learned the Menders were forbidden from touching the mind, I found a suitable venom. He died in his sleep, dreaming the most horrific visions. Or so I've been told. You vicious son of a bitch. Have you ever witnessed a city turn, hungrily upon itself, like a starving wolf eating its own cubs? Have you witnessed the rape, slaughter, and torture of thousands, the sounds and the smells of it? I have. Oh, and when that chaos spills over the edge, there is no cure, just like Meinolf. Should I die, you will see things for yourself, I promise you that. So maybe now you will listen carefully to what I want. Only if your followers raise a hand to help instead of hunting us. No, you're going to listen to me now. You know what? I don't have time for this. Now this is different. You didn't see this because, right? Because did he even get a chance to poison the king in your playthrough?
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay, so that happened no matter what. But in your playthrough, Ludin was still there, so he could just become king, even
Yeah.
when. Okay. Pull your punch, Rick's head swings back as if on a hinge. He is no longer smiling. Do you know why I do this? Do what, you piece of trash? Deceive, leech on mankind? Well, I speak on behalf of the people you despise so much. Why, I have always done so. Because they will always be here, no matter how hard you pretend they don't exist. There's nothing more infuriating or terrifying than not being heard. So they give me their power. I am the will of the people. This is this is almost like what you expect. What I expected at least of the Littlefinger character at like the end of the whole series of Game of Thrones. I thought Littlefinger would be pulling shit like this in the middle of like the zombie attack. Just kill him or shit. I mean, that's going to cause problems. Fuck. I don't know. Because he's not wrong that somebody's got to be able to, like, put some shit back together. But I would like to kill him. Just personally.
Is the king dead or is he dying?
Oh, the king is dead. He's dead. He's very dead. I want to kill him. I really do. Personally, I want to kill him. But he also, the argument that he makes about how shit could just fall apart, he's not wrong. He's not. He's really not. I don't know, Tim. I don't know. This is a tough one.
I killed Ruga in mine.
True, but you also had the prince who could become king.
Yeah, I hardly believe he's a better leader. Like, people are willing to listen to him.
No, I know, but just the complete collapse. I mean, fuck it. Let's just kill him. Wait, what if he's right about Arborang turning on itself? Stop, he's unconscious. No more chances? Or he's lucky you're here. Fuck it, let's just do it. Let's just be bold and if we get the bad ending in this playthrough, we get the bad ending. If that's what happens, that's what happens.
I don't know. I feel like Ruga is always a threat as long as he's alive.
Oh, I agree. I'm being repressed. Now we see the violence inherent in the system. I definitely agree. I just wonder. You know. He happened upon Ursa after the tolling of the bells coming from the Great Hall. She looks distant. Sorry, Luton couldn't be here. I know he meant a lot to you. I meant a lot to him. And I wish we could have done more to save his father. If you learn to turn back time, let me know. You nod knowingly. Jeez, okay. How did you and Luden meet? Smiles to herself for a long time. You wonder if she's just being Ursa, but realize she's probably reliving a few memories. Childhood. You knew him for that long. It happens when you share blood. Oh, really? Well, okay. Can you just become queen then? Meinolf always claimed that he had only had a single son. Kings do who they please. You mean what they please? No. She puts a finger to her lips and gives a soft shush. It's safe with me. I'm even more sorry we couldn't save King Meinolf. I'm not. Yeah, how'd you escape the forest fire? Witchcraft. Alright. Where'd you learn to use a bow like that? Nobody gave me permission. God damn it, could you just answer a fucking question? Why would you be surprised? I'm not. Good. What will you do now? Marry a sailor, make lots of children, take up basket weaving, and burn all the dredge to black coals. Now let's light those barrels. Blows you a kiss as she goes to the walls, which might be weird if you didn't know it's just Yrsa being herself. I mean, her being herself is weird. I'm like, that's just how it is. Nets have been wrapped around the barrels of oil, and Horseborn wait at the ready, prepared to deliver them at a moment's notice. Skathik trots nervously atop the walls. That must be every oil barrel in the city. Couldn't have gotten half this many without the morrow. Yrsa is preparing several archers with flaming arrows. She looks the happiest you've ever seen her. Let's hope this works. Anchor comes again, a dark shriek. The horseboard are already gone, pulling along the netting where the obsidian hook punches through the wall. They heave the barrels over top. The net catches and is pulled back toward ruin. Now here's... I love the sound effects in the background. Looks of fire flit through the air like fireflies buzzing into the night, gently floating down, down. The explosion rips into the battlefield, rattling the earth and engulfing the sunder, blowing dirt and dust into the sky. Cheers are up spontaneously all the way down the walls. Even the dredge have stopped their assault to watch. Is it done? As this finally thins, you see ruin rising, staggering. Cheering dies in throats. She's wounded! We have to finish it now. Come, you hear shouted from the ground below. Canary flings her hair back and smiles. Her horseborn look ready to run. We go quickly. Oddleaf stifles an ecstatic gasp and she realizes what Canary intends. Scramble onto horseborn backs, soon finding yourself racing through hordes of dredge you would have crashed against on foot. But the dredge come in endless waves, eventually slowing you to a crawl. They surround you from all sides until all you can see are black stone and yellow eyes. Over your shoulder, you hear the heavy clang of metal on black armor and the barrel shoved past with fire in their eyes. Up, Hunter. We'll find the path this time, Archon crows. Or cows. Then over the din of battle, a drumming rhythm draws your attention. To your right, a cloud of dust is rising, approaching swiftly until it collides with the army of dredge, tossing bodies into the air. Alright. Alright, let's try this. Let's see what happens. So how far into the game are we? I have to ask. Because it feels
You
like
are
fake,
at the
like,
very least a quarter of the way.
because it feels like, as far as like, it just feels like more is happening faster in this one, and I get that's just because it's the third one, and so it's the conclusion. But yeah, it feels pretty fast paced. Hey, we haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, we're Ubin.
Good ol' Ubin.
So that's the fucker up there. That's the one. That's the one we gotta take out. What special, ridiculous special ability does he have? Is it just that he has a shield? Oh, he can fucking heal himself? Great. Great. Just fucking fantastic.
Better than the immortal dude.
Yeah, that's true. Break the barrier? Hey, no name's here. What's up, no name? We are just well, we're trying to kick this immortal warrior god dredge thing's ass, and well, we only just started this battle, so hopefully it goes well. But how are you doing? And have you seen us play? Have you been in here to see us play the Banner Saga games before? Because I actually think you would really like these too. I think these are honestly games that are totally up your alley. Oh, I just finished Werewolf by Night. Thought it was a lot of fun. I have not watched it yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Double Toasted, who is the kind of the main critics I usually I typically listen to. One of the guys on there gave it like the highest rating they could even give it. Which so I'm here. I've heard basically nothing but good things about it. So, damn, not quite far enough. Ah, up, he healed himself. Shit. Ooh, 22. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. So many great classic horror notes. Awesome. I am excited to watch that, honestly. And I've been on, kind of on Marvel lately, but that looks like a lot of fun. I think that looks like a great deal of fun. But don't have... You could have just walked straight through. God damn you. Seen any? I honestly, I have barely even really used the Shudder app, to be completely honest, which I really should more because I pay for it. So I should watch more stuff on there. But I haven't really done much in the way of Halloween stuff lately. Tim, have you watched like any spooky stuff for the month?
No, but I will be going to see Halloween Ends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my younger brother, that's his pick for the movie.
Now,
And,
I don't know if you've heard about this, but on, I think it's the 28th, but October 28th, it'll be dropping on Netflix. Henry Selick's, who directed Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, his first movie since 2009 is going to be dropping on October 28th.
Really?
It stars Henry Selick wrote the script with Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, who then do the voices of the two main characters, which are two like children eating shadow demons, and it is a stop motion animated film because that's the only kind Henry Selick really makes. But yeah. That looks great.
Well,
that's something I'm
really
very
interesting.
Yeah, that's something I'm very excited to watch for the holiday. Oh damn! You've already watched 8 whole movies. Shit. Well, I'm way behind.
Yeah, I have not watched Bupkis for spooky movies this year.
Weird. Why can't it's like almost like? Oh, is it because he's ranged? Is that all it was?
Probably.
Is this one of those where like if I take out if I take him out, then that's like we're good. Like I just have to take out the one Sunder.
Yeah, I believe you just have to take out Rays.
Is Rook? Did I get Rook killed already? Is Rook already gone?
That's what it's looking like.
Fuck. He's like the... He's like my main guy. Well, hopefully Ubin can do something. Alright, that was a big hit. That was a big hit. Ooh. All right, come on, Trigby. Oh, just stepping into the fire killed him instantly. Oh boy. But no, no name. I really do think you would like these games. The Banner Saga has been absolutely fantastic. It's it's like the Oregon Trail mixed with Lord of the Rings, is how I would describe it. Tim, would you put any other like big games into that description? Be like Oregon Trail plus Lord of the Rings plus like something else, or would you say that's pretty much an apt description on its own?
Um, I'd say that's a pretty accurate description. Wait, say that again.
So I just basically said the Lord of the Rings meets the Oregon Trail.
Lord of the Rings, man. Yeah,
It's pretty accurate, yeah.
that's a pretty good summation.
Yeah, it's a great series of games, and they're not that long too. Like playing all three of these is almost just like the length of like one normal game. Shit. All right, we're Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh come on, and that's not even gonna. Damn. I was so close. I was so close. I even took out the big important one. Does it count that I took out the important one? Like, does it count that? Let the tales tell that you, a humble hunter from a small forest town, stood against not one but two Sunder. Your last vision is one of falling, your legs giving out, then you're back inside the walls of Arbreg and you feel like you've been crushed by a battering ram. Uben came, says Oddleif, leaning over you. With hundreds of horseborn, many of them. Most died. They managed to drive Ruin off, but she's still out there somewhere licking her wounds. Hakan, you ask? Still alive, for better or worse. Varl took heavy losses and he's taking it personally. I doubt he'll be singing our praises anytime soon. Sit up painfully, but we made it. We're not dead yet. When you caught your breath, you find the others looking out over the walls. Hours pass since the siege. You find Oddleif on the ramparts, looking out into the distance. This is also the third game, too. The last game in the series, No Name. So this is like the culmination of the whole thing. And it's feeling a lot like Helm's Deep in here. I have to say. Dr.
Helm's
sure
Deep,
seems
I can agree with that.
a lot closer. This whole big battle in this one city with the defensive walls and like waves of enemies, and then we retreat inside, and then we go back out through a different area to fight on another front. It's very Helm's Deep to me. So I've been meaning to ask you something. Looking back on the last few days, have I been acting too recklessly? No, I wouldn't have you any other way. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, we got laid, right? Like it's the apocalypse. What's the real risk in getting laid in the apocalypse? Like, I'm sorry, but that's just why even second guess that. It's hard not to second guess yourself. Never regretted giving you the banner, but it's a struggle to stay silent. I feel like I'm the only one arguing with stubborn men for the greater good. If I dare show the same sort of confidence, well, they have words for women like that. It wears you down. Aren't we all fighting for the same thing? Juno doesn't make it after everything we've been through. We hear the shuffle. Well, apparently Juno caused this entire problem to begin with, so hear the shuffle of large footsteps joining you. Still everyone for themselves, no different than before. Keep hope. Look at how many survived Asunder today, thanks to our efforts. Be glad for that. Speak for yourself, Uben. How did you get the Horseborn tribes to leave Dalaland? Did I say that right? I feel like I never know if I'm saying these names right.
No, you're saying I'm right.
All right. I guess that's what I'm second guessing. Well, when you learn someone's language, you can speak to them, you see. I wish they were more like you, Ubin. It's a long story, friends. A long story. But the short of it is that the dredge are also in the south, as many as here. Look over the wall's edge where the dredge have withdrawn in the absence of Reuben. They mill aimlessly. Why just give up? They've still got the numbers to overwhelm us. I'm not sure they were ever into this fight to begin with. I think we're all looking for some peace right now, even the dredge. Damn them, the silence is almost worse than the fighting. New sound slowly begins to take its place. A warbling moan that fills you with unease and makes your hair stand on end. Should we be worried about it? Yes, you should be worried about that. I don't know what it is, but you should be worried about that. I don't know, they're just standing there. It's almost as if they're crying. This is worse. This is worse than the silence. Maybe they're just feeling the pressure a little sooner than us. The darkness doesn't care whose side you're on. Chapter 19, the hounds are a-hungered.
Hounds are a-hungered.
Alright, back into the dark bubble. Alright, what's going on? So, chapter 19, how many chapters are there in total again?
23.
Wow, so there's only 4 chapters left, damn. Look out, you bark. Bolverk has been gaining ground on the caravan since fleeing Strand, but now he's in a full-on sprint. An axe flies towards Ivan's head, clanging off Folka's shield at the last moment. Static crackles, bolts of lightning rip into the ground, tossing clouds of soot high into the air, but it clears to reveal nobody. You can feel Bolverk watching, malevolently from afar. Then his warped army turns, disappearing behind a hill. At least he seems to remember the sting. Ivan huffs. Folka shakes her head, picking up the engraved axe Bolverk threw. This is a prized possession, made from his own horn. The only reason he'd throw it is because he thought he could end this here and now. She hangs the axe on her belt and stares out into the darkness. I'm more worried about a Bolverk I can't see than the one I can. I mean, that's fair. That's fair concern. Hey, No Name, and Tim, both of you actually, No Name, I know you had at least been watching some of She-Hulk. Tim, have you watched any of She-Hulk?
I have not.
Now, I will say, again, I've been down on Marvel. I've been very down on Marvel. I've been enjoying She-Hulk. It's not, I don't think it's amazing, but it is only trying to be a sitcom, and I think it is successful at being a sitcom. It's not, not caught up. Okay, fair enough. The most recent episode, I mean, it might have been my favorite one. I'll just say that. I won't spoil it since it's still pretty new, but for all the issues I've had with Marvel in recent times, I think She-Hulk's actually been pretty decent. Although I will say that the CGI is very up and down. But to that same point, I will say that I am much more willing to forgive the CGI not being great because it is just trying to be a sitcom and not be serious. Whereas if it was taking itself super seriously, I would judge, the CGI not being great would take me out of it more if it was serious. Whereas since it's just kind of being a sitcom, it's just easier for me to let that go, Yeah, it feels like a fun comic book more than the always hyper serious ones. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess one of the problems I've had with Marvel is that everything has been just goofy and silly, kind of nonstop, I feel like, for a while now. And, nothing is taking itself seriously. But with She-Hulk specifically, the comic books are comedies, and so with this particular character, it fits the tone of this character to be silly. So to me, it totally makes, even if I'm tired of Marvel being overly comedic, it doesn't bother me in this, because I know that with this particular individual character, that's the tone that it's supposed to be anyway. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why, at Moon Knight, I wish was more serious, because that specific character just feels like it should be, And And I'm sorry, I did
Yeah.
not mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's exactly what it's you have to have serious enough to make the not serious not seem contrived.
Yeah,
Because they
yeah.
had like a it's like we Infinity War and all that stuff. That was really heavy and stuff.
And
And
even those, that movie still had a decent amount of comedy in it too. Like even their most serious movies still have a decent amount of like the Marvel brand jokes. But to your point, those were vastly more serious than almost anything else we've had in a while.
that is true. Because we just haven't really we don't really get, well, like Thor Love and Thunder. We were supposed to get like the
Ugh.
next generation of like, Thor, because like Ragnarok kind of left a lot unsaid. Like, and then we went right into the like Avengers, and it just doesn't seem, I don't know.
Well, I will say that I'm not at all opposed to Thor: Love and Thunder being a like full on comedy, because Ragnarok was a full on comedy.
You
But
don't do that
Ragnarok
with Gore
had
the God Butcher.
no, you don't do it with. I don't think you do it with either of the storylines that they did in that movie. To be honest, Gore the God Butcher is a pretty serious story arc. And also, Jane Foster having cancer is also a pretty serious story arc. Like, not that there aren't any jokes in the Jane Foster comics, but those are pretty serious comics for a lot of them. The whole Jane Foster as Thor run is generally decently serious. And so I think that's part of what made Thor Ragnarok work really well, is it kind of wasn't really adapting any comic. It was kind of doing its own thing altogether. Like, yeah, there was a sprinkle of Planet Hulk in there, but not really any of the actual story from that book. It was Thor Ragnarok was almost a completely original story to the MCU. Like, it wasn't really adapting a book, really, like almost at all. And I think that's part of why the comedy of it worked as well as it did. Whereas Thor: Love and Thunder, it was like, let's adapt two dark storylines at the same time and take all of the seriousness out of them. I think it would have worked a lot better if they had just come up with a completely original idea for a story again. Like, I actually think that would, under the specific team of like Taika Waititi, I really think that the movie would have been better if it just tried to do something entirely original.
I honestly think Thor Ragnarok, or no, Love and Thunder would have been better split off into the two movies. Like,
Or yeah, make those two separate movies entirely. Absolutely.
yeah, like have kind of one where it's like the last days of Jane and stuff, and then do
Well,
Gore the God Butcher.
Well, you know what would have been? I mean, here's the thing: is you could have even done something with Jane and the being involved, because in the comics, the Gore the God Butcher storyline happens way before, way before. Gore happens before Jane is ever Thor, right? And Thor in that comic, he has to team up with himself from the past and the future. So you have young, like during the time of the Vikings Thor, and you have like ancient old man, gray beard, one-eyed King Thor, and he teams up with two other versions of himself. Now, if you wanted to involve Jane Foster in the Gore the God Butcher storyline for the movie, what you should have done was you should have, well, one, COVID messed with the production schedules. Also, the whole thing where they fired James Gunn and then hired him again a couple years later, that totally fucked with the production schedules, because if you go and you look at what it was supposed to be originally, hey, cat out of the corner with the wires. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was supposed to come out before Thor Love and Thunder originally. And I'm willing to bet that Thor would have been in that Guardians of the Galaxy movie way more than the Guardians were in this Thor movie. And the fact that those movies like swapped places in a way, I think that really fucked up with their plans for how those stories were supposed to pan out. Because I think you were supposed to get a lot of Thor in Guardians 3, or at least some more Thor in Guardians 3. And he would have separated from the Guardians at some point in the Guardians movie, leaving the Thor movie to pick up without even having to address that because it would have already happened in the Guardians series, right? So that also messed up. So there's a lot of reasons I think things have not worked out super well lately. And COVID is one of them for sure.
That's true. At least things are starting to get a little bit better as time goes on. They're starting to course correct, at least in terms of production cycles.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think that I think they're making too much. I think they're making too much, and they do not have the ability to quality control the volume of content that they're putting out. I honestly just don't think that they can manage it. And I do think Bob Iger stepping down and it not being the CEO anymore, I think that's a big part of the problem. Because now Bob Iger was a genius businessman. Disney was fucking falling apart when God, I can't remember the guy's name that was the CEO before, but that Disney was like going to go away as a company and be bought out by someone because the Michael Eisner or something, I can't remember his name, but he was a fucking idiot. Bob Iger came in, he made the decision to buy Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, all that stuff. Well, Chapek is the new guy. So Bob Iger retired. So I was talking. So there was the guy before Bob Iger, and he was a dumbass. Bob Iger came in, fixed the company, and made it like, as far as like production wise, got it to be like the best it was, pretty much ever. Now Bob Iger steps down, and Bob Chapek, who for a long time he was in charge of the theme parks, and he fucked those up and was running those into the ground. And then now he's the CEO, and I feel like all of Disney's stuff has taken a dip since he's been put in charge. It was like almost immediately after Chapek came in, because I just don't think he knows what he's doing. And Bob Iger, you know, you got to give him credit where credit is due. Bob Iger gave Kevin Feige an unprecedented amount of creative freedom, and just let him basically do whatever he wanted. And Bob Chapek, I don't think, is doing that. I've even read stuff, and I don't know if this is true, but I even read that Bob Chapek told Kevin Feige that Thor Love and Thunder could not be longer than like an hour and 40 minutes because people didn't like Eternals, and Eternals was long. So you have you have this someone else that like Bob Iger just trusted Feige and just said, do what you're going to do. It'll work out. I believe you're capable of this. And now Chapek has come in, and he's not. I don't think he's allowing Kevin Feige to be that creative head that he was. I think he's very controlling and like making decisions he should not be making.
Honestly, love a good deep dive into the behind the scenes into how all this works.
Yeah, because I'm speculating some. Oh, for sure, no worries. Because I'm speculating in part, and some stuff I know, some stuff I don't. But what I can say is that I do think Bob Chapek is a big part of why things are not as good as they are, or as they were. And I really think that we might really be. I think the age of like Marvel being this consistent brand, I do think is over. I think they'll still have good things. I don't think it's just going to all be bad, but I just don't think you're really ever going to have like a like phase 3 from Civil War to Endgame right? And everything between those two, I don't think you're ever going to have another quality run like that. I think you'll have good stuff, but it's going to be back and forth. Yeah, oh, he totally is. Draining a block on Krayt. Like Bob Iger was a movie executive, but he also was smart, and he understood that he knew that Kevin Feige knew what he was doing, and was like, I'm just gonna let you do what you're doing. I'm not gonna try and control you. And Chapek is more of a traditional executive in just that he is like, yeah, like he thinks he knows better because he's in charge, and so he thinks he's smarter and is just going to be more capable of making the decision than the creatives are going to be. I think that's how he thinks. I really do, and it's sad. But I think that's just unfortunately, I think that's just kind of what it is now. And so you're gonna get some good stuff too. Again, I don't want to make it sound like it's just all gonna be bad, but I don't think it's ever gonna be consistent, like good, a bunch of good shit all in a row the way that it was for a little while there. I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. I mean, again, now I don't know if this is true. I have no idea if this is true. So this guy could be totally wrong, but I have heard. I've heard rumors that Kevin Feige is actually really fucking sick of how things are going and like is straight up like looking into leaving Disney. Now, if that is true, and I don't know if it is, but if that's true, God help the quality of Marvel after that. Because, oh boy, if that happens, then I don't think they don't have anything.
How are you enjoying the void twisted world?
I mean, it's pretty cool, and I like the purple filter. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't seem harder than anything else. Goddamn, Juno really is useless. Like, what are you even gonna do?
It's more that the mechanics get more complex as time goes on.
Right, right. Yeah, let's get you at least a little bit down in strength. And, oh, he's running away. Oh, tentacles coming out of his mouth. That's fun. But no, Tim, now you went to the bathroom, so you didn't hear that particular comment. But I've actually heard some rumors that Kevin Feige is extremely unhappy now that Bob Chapek has been in charge, and that there's actually been talk that Kevin Feige is sick of it and may even be considering leaving Disney over how much Bob Chapek is like stifling like creativity and shit. Now I don't know for sure that that's true. That could be.
Run it past. I wouldn't doubt it because it's Chapek being a
dumbass.
A half-assed kind of president or CEO, CFO, COO, COOC.
Yeah.
One of those in charge acronyms.
Right.
Now, I am coming up on the part where I fight um, Wenji for the first time.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you really only basically made. You're really kind of still in the tutorial, to be honest.
Yeah, this is one of the longest tutorials I've had
Yeah, the
in a
tutorial lasts, I'd say, like at like on the small end 3 hours, on the long end 5 hours. There's a lot of systems for it to set up. There really are.
It got to the point where I just said fuck it with exploring because I was like, it's you don't progress at all until you reach a certain point in the story.
Basically, after the Wenji mission is when you should like start. That's when you should
Yeah,
actually
it's
start
like when you
exploring.
unlock infusions.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is literally the point where you start to, you then it's worth really exploring and looking around more. God, this is not going well. This is not going well. Although the fact that Juno could just kind of keep coming back to life like infinitely, it's kind of handy. It's at times, at least.
And I would say this is one of the coolest explanations of her immortality, or like the one
What's
that they
happening?
give is tremendously cool.
Oh, what? A whole other group of enemies just showed up, and I'm already on my last person who is like on the verge of death as it is. Really? Christ, guys. Really not making this easy, that's for sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's literally no way that I can even kind of do this. I mean, I'll guess I'll just do the damage I can and then. Yeah, yeah, there's literally no way for me to survive. I mean, I can't even believe I've lasted this long, but. Oh, I got the dog is making dream sounds next to me. Can you hear that? Can you? I'm not sure if the mic picks that up or not, but
I don't think it did. Was it an animal being particularly cute?
Link is dreaming, so he's making a little squeaky noise. Oh, no name could hear it on the stream.
Oh, maybe I just need to have my volume up a bit higher.
I think he woke up now because I leaned over to him to try and hear better. I think he. Are you awake or are you just Gandalf sleeping? I can't tell.
Gandalf sleeping.
Yep, and there she goes. And he's gonna, yeah. That better not be a fight I have to replay and actually win, because that seems just, I mean, that just seemed like way too much to actually beat. That did not seem like, yeah. When the warped came, they came hard. There's no doubt anymore that Bulwark has some kind of command over them. You come to. Not sure how anyone survived that battle. Juno remains where you saw her last, as if nothing had happened. Tholka pulls herself under her feet and comes stomping at you, dragging her shield heavily behind her. She doesn't look happy. Let's get something straight, Juno. You drag us out here as captives, and now Bulwark's trying to hunt us down and kill us. Do you see how messed up this is? And back there you try to give my ravens orders? Tell me again when we're allowed to rest. Go on, say it to my face. What would you have me do? Oh no, don't you dare pretend to be the reasonable one right now. Steam plumes from Folka's nostrils like an angry yak swirling through the cold air. I don't even want to hear your voice. Ravens are under my command, and if you want anyone watching your back instead of putting a knife, what if Ivor spoke on my behalf? You know what? That sounds like a great idea. How did I get dragged into this? I'll take charge. Let's just hope she has the decency to stay out of your head.
I love the dialogue in these games.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
is
these characters have
absolutely-
very strong personalities.
Simmers. It seems to hold some sway over the darkness.
Oh shit, a Godstone.
Or maybe
I kind of
the
thought we were
darkness
done with
itself
those, but...
finds them distasteful.
Huh. Interesting.
There's so many goddamn Wengies.
There's a lot of Wengies. Yeah. Golden Glow greets you, the first warmth you've felt since entering the darkness. Disheveled women and children huddle on one side of the Godstone while the dredge sits on the other. The dredge has arranged a circle of obsidian stones around itself, and just outside that lie the bodies of a couple dead men. Ain't this a sight? And he frowns. I have a feeling this is about to become our problem. Praise the gods, someone has finally come, carrying a divine light. Not exactly. The matronly woman's face falls as she gets a better look at you. I know that crest. Ravens. She points with an accusing, shaking finger toward the stone singer. What is this? Have you brought more dredge to slaughter us? The stone hurley stands within its ring of stones, warbling loudly as you approach the godstone. The old woman recoils in disgust. Well, how interesting. This one is terrified of you, Ivor. Me? Why? She called you Destroyer. I've heard of the Destroyer before, but I had no idea I was traveling with them. Is it really you? They speak of you like we do Bellower. Thought you'd be bigger. It's a misunderstanding. Where would you hear such a thing? Traveling with the Valka. But you do not know where we are headed. You're an interesting one, Ivor. We should talk more. The old woman rejoins you again after a heated battle of whispers with her kitten. She clears her throat. I am called Hilde. We came here to pray when the skies darkened. I guess I don't need to tell you we're only alive now because of this godstone. A miracle. And they say the gods are dead. Then this slag comes from nowhere. It attacks us, killed their husbands and mine as well. Aye, a right miserable sow sucker he was. But an injustice to be killed by this thing. She gestures rudely at the stone hurler. It makes a hissing sound like escaping steam. Quiet, filthy thing. You'll take us somewhere safe. Surely you will. The opposite. You don't want to go where we're going. God's alive. Has everyone lost their minds? At least give us justice. Don't leave this slag alive to kill us and eat our children. Alfred, what's the dredge's side of the story? Hilda bristles at the implication. Alfred taps her spear and the horns vibrate with a faint hum. The dredge sings a soft response. She says they left her no choice but to defend herself. Stuck here, same as them. By the gods, we've been found by the only slag lovers in the dying world. She snatches something shiny from the hands of one of her kin, waving it in front of you. This is what the ravens need, isn't it, you disgusting vultures? Family heirloom worth more than it looks. I say we just bring the stone hurler along with us, Ivor. I mean, we've already got one. You said it was terrified of me. Then she won't put up much of a struggle, will she? What are you talking about? Kill it already. Kill it. Yeah, come with us. Alfred speaks to the dredge again. It shows little emotion, but that may just be because it lacks facial expression. Quite the motley crew you've gathered, Destroyer. Don't call me that, I'm serious. Hilda pockets her heirloom, offering only low curses, angry that the dredge lives on. Alright, so now we have two. Are they both, like, playable characters?
Yes, that Stone Slinger is a playable character. And one tip I can give you, you'll come across some eggs, let the stone hurler fuck around with the eggs.
Okay.
Because similar to how if we would have had access to the bears, we could have given Eirik the ability to summon bears.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, hell yeah, we're definitely gonna... That's what we're gonna do. I guess got another point, I guess. Uh, heroic title available. Blood letter. Oh, interesting. Oh, damn, so you get like, there's like a ton of potential. Damn, okay. Shit. That's like a whole other thing. Um, hmm. Let's see. Let's put the Stone Slinger in there instead of Juno. Let's try that guy out. Just get him to just to see what they can do. Um, Volca could, yeah, upgrade her a little bit. Oh wow, yeah, I had not upgraded her in a while. Okay, let's just
Yeah, it's really easy to
shit.
miss out on Falca, but she has a surprisingly good, like, well-rounded, like, good defense, good offense, good range because she's got the spear.
Well, also, like, I guess I just hadn't even like used the upgrade points that I already had. Alright, alright, everyone's healed. Uh, Talk to them before we go. See, you notice Folk is standing alone, arms crossed, sporting a deadly scowl. Everything all right? Yeah, we're doing great. Our leader is hunting us down. We've been kidnapped by witches, and now we're arguing about how many dredge we can save along the way. It's the kind of thing a little girl grows up dreaming about. I get your point. She glares at you through narrow eyes. How did a woman get accepted by the Ravens anyway? Is this the part where you ask me about my past? We talk about family and hug. Eat some black snow, Barl. These guys all chose to be here just like me. That's the truth. That's all the family you need to know about. Considering you didn't even mention family, you doubt that's the whole story, but you let it drop. She glares at you. You still care about Bulwark. You're trying to piss me off? Imagine little Alette hunting you through the darkness, trying to rip your throat out. Now imagine some arse accusing... Well, are we going to see that? I feel like we'll probably see that. Now imagine some arse accuses you of having feelings about it. You notice Falco's hand instinctively go to the axe Bulwark had thrown at Ivan a few days back. What do you plan to do with that axe? Its name is Claw, and I plan to do with it as my business. Could we agree to keep it tucked away? If the sight of it scares you, then yes, I'll keep it safe and snug right here. I'm not suicidal either. I'm not going to plant it in a Vulca's skull. Not right now. I never asked to be around you. I always heard the Vara like their space. You're not wrong. Must be nice to be accepted for something like that. My kind treat you like you're diseased if you don't act right, but the Ravens, they don't judge. It's not like I want to be completely alone. I just don't need tedious, pointless conversations with every idiot who has an opinion. Go on. Oh, damn it all, you got me talking about my... Are we done here? Get why you came over now. Junior's ready to go. No, I came on my own. You know, I used to be great at telling when someone is lying, but it sure is harder these days, isn't it? You know what I mean? Let's get something straight. I'll take talking to you over Juno, but you're no Raven. Whatever happened to Belveric, I'm not convinced that he doesn't have a good reason for what he's doing. So don't give me a reason to let him, and don't try to get close and friendly. All right, you made yourself clear. Good, then we might get along. Now, excuse me while I gather the unkindness. Unkindness? That's what they call a flock of ravens, Ivor. Fitting, don't you think? Yes, I do think. I do think. Very fitting. Alfred finds a quiet moment to make her way over to you, leaning on her staff. Why didn't you tell me, Varro? Tell you what? About being the destroyer. Isn't something that comes up often in a conversation. You'll have to excuse me, I don't always know how to speak with people. I spend a lot of time alone or with the sculptors. What are the sculptors? Well, more precisely, they say something like, we who shape the stone, but it's close enough. You didn't think the Dredge call themselves Dredge, did you? There's quite a lot I've learned from them. Some things you may know, many secret. Alfred awaits your reply. Interesting. Sculptors. Interesting. How do you learn mending out here on your own? Mending, bah, call it what it is. We pluck at the threads of reality. Almost anyone can see them if you know how to look. Who do you think taught the teachers? The gods. And who taught the gods? Even godlier gods? Anyway, you see my point. Don't think so highly of your mender friends. They're more dangerous than they let on. How do you mean? I trained to be a mender when I was just a girl. They tried to kill me, believe it or not. The Varl right there was the one sent to do it. She points to the figure of Bercy snoozing on the hard ground. I don't think he even remembers me. I looked a little different back then. But I escaped. Not before learning some things. They train their simple-minded menders to heal stubbed toes and raise walls. It's a fine distraction from the powers the Valkyr really wield. But if an apprentice doesn't have the skill to control their powers, they're a threat to the mender's reputation. And if you show too much skill, well, you're an even bigger threat. You all need to stop looking at everything as us and them. Some of them are friends, others are not. The same as any people anywhere. Oh, I understand how hard it can be to see past your differences. Impossible sometimes. But so many don't even try. What kind of secrets are you talking about? What? For nothing. I'm nothing if not a trader of knowledge, you know. The rarest secrets don't come cheap. How about this? In exchange for telling me how you became the Destroyer, I'll tell you something you may find quite important. What do you say? If you promise to keep it to yourself. I do. The Sunder I killed, Reyes. It was no legendary battle. When I brought her head back to the other barrel. Gonna head out later. Hey, have a good night, No Name.
See you, No Name.
Hopefully I'll hear from you soon. We still gotta do a stream sometime soon. You and me, we gotta figure out a time to do our next Solar Ash stream, which has been quite some time. When I brought her back to the other Varl, they invented their own stories. The truth is, I got separated from my allies, and I found her out in a snowstorm alone. She was cradling an infant. My axe accidentally killed the child. She didn't even put up a fight after that. Indeed, it was Belivar's child, Ivor. How? Oh, shit, okay. That's interesting. How can you? Are you certain? Completely. Consider that our trade. There's more to tell at another time, maybe. All right, let's get going. Just one more thing. Are those Varl horns on your staff? Nothing to worry about, Ivor. They were a gift that I treasure very much. You see, I have friends of all sorts. But as you said, we should be going. Another story for another time, perhaps. Interesting. That was an interesting conversation. That was a very interesting conversation. So, Tim, what do you think? One more stream after this one? Two more after this one?
I'm thinking...
There's only 4 chapters left. Well, and I think we could probably finish this current chapter for, I think, tonight, and then we'll only have 3 chapters left. Does it worry anyone else that they've somehow gotten ahead of us? What once was a hill has been twisted into a thin strip of land, pulled along like spider silk with a steep drop beneath, warped shamble back and forth across it, but Bolverk is nowhere in sight. They don't need rest, Volker realizes with a shudder. Bolverk can't confront us directly, not while the Volker live. He's going to thin the herd all the way to Ridgehorn. Fane spits only. It's exactly what we'd do, isn't it? I hate it. Fight your way across the land bridge as quickly as possible. Make a shield wall, pushing slowly and steady. Ask Folka's tactical advice. Take an alternate route. What's Folka's advice? If it were us, we'd lure them across, lay archers to hit them from the wings, while spears come up to fill the retreat. Something tells me the warped can't coordinate like ravens, though. But what would Bolverk do with a bunch of drunk idiots? He'd make it look like a trap so we try to get fancy. My gut says we just rush it. Oli has already drawn an axe. Interesting. Now, Tim, I'm going to ask you: is that good advice? Is rushing it the best option?
Rushing it is the best option, I believe.
All right. Nobody stops until we're crossed, you bark. Ravens advance quickly, the warp darters slow to respond. Slingers, shouts Falca, noting warped dredge hiding just over the ridge. Rush them. All right, let's do it. Woo, woo, woo. Let's fucking go. That could have gone worse. Don't let your guard down yet. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. Let's see. Fucking just start taking them out. Alright, that's one. One smote. Tim, I am very excited for us to get to Elden Ring, though. It's coming up. It's coming up soon.
It's what this and Mortal Shell and then Elden Ring.
Yep, we're gonna play Mortal Shell and then rest. Basically, we'll finish this Mortal Shell, which I know you said Mortal Shell isn't. I mean, that's not a long game.
Mortal
even.
Shell. If you're able to get 2 solid hours of gameplay each session, you can do it in 2.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, it's not gonna take us long at all.
No, not guard. Hardly at all. It'll be quick. We'll be in. We'll be out. We'll have shelled our mortal shells in the mortal shell. This is
And usually our streams are longer than 2 hours anyway. I mean, it's pretty rare that we're under 2 hours.
Oh yeah, fairly uncommon there.
All right, upgrading the characters a little bit seems to have helped. At least a little bit. Ooh, wow. This dredge seems pretty. Able to do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, I know. Ooh. Yikes. That was a... I know that totally hit my guys, but I can take out that fucking bear, so I'm gonna do it again. Oh wait, that didn't take out the bear? Oh, that took out that other guy. Shit, alright. Well, fuck it. We heard him. That's what matters. Just tap, a little poke. Just a little pokey boy.
Little pokey boy.
That's what he did, though. He just kind of poked him a little bit with his knife.
Are you massaging that yak with your axe handle?
There we go. Now that one's down finally. There you go. Okay. Cool, I think we're actually gonna win.
Stone Singer is ridiculously powerful.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Or her, well, I guess
Especially
I don't
for the
know.
one where you can convert your party's, or some of your party's armor into health.
Is that one, or is that the other one that we just got?
The other one, we just, it should be the special ability for the Stone Singer,
The one I just am using right now in this battle. It's time the warp to seem even more organized than the last. Could have gone all wrong, Spar says, peering over the bridge's edge at the twisted rocks far below. Fulker replies, yeah, we could all be dead. Come on, this isn't the place to give Bolverk another try. Yeah, no, seriously. Honestly, yeah, I think even if it's not one when this chapter ends, I think that'll be a good place to call it. Let's just beating this chapter, and then we'll only have three chapters left. Small pale orbs wink at you from deep crags in the darkness. A brief inspection reveals that they're eggs. Skulkers, whispers Ditch. Pulling one of the creatures free of its shell, stabbed through by his dagger. Stonehurler, who joined you at the Godstone, looks upset by the dead thing. She darts between a few clusters, making scooping motions and nodding. Are you crazy, Fulker frowns? There's a lot of eggs. Squinting at it in the distance makes my fane's skin crawl. He doesn't finish the sentence. You imagine a countless more eggs in every direction, just out of sight. Allow the stone hurler to do whatever she seems to want to do. That's what you said, right? Just let her do whatever. I believe that was your advice. But I also want to have you just confirm and make sure that I am... Just make sure that that's the right option again. Is that right, Tim?
Yes. You let that stone hurler.
Alright. Just do whatever she wants to do. She finds a cluster of palm-sized eggs and begins gathering them in her sling, nodding as if to say, this is fine. You're not sure if it's more comforting or terrifying that she's unafraid, but nobody intervenes. Soon you leave the nest back. I'm assuming that she's going to get a little power to then, like, use those things in the fight.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I've had a feeling. I had a feeling. Caravan stops to rest their feet and eat. The only good thing about this damned beacon we're walking around in is there's no reason to hide a campfire, says Krumer, chomping on some burnt meat. Conversation turns toward one of Krumer's war exploits and devolves quickly into a rowdy debate about who could beat who in a fight. Alright, how about Ditch and Bach? Grins only. And a fair fight, asks Krumer. Bach and his girlfriend, no question. Ditch pouts and crosses his arms as everyone else laughs. But I'd put my gold on Folka over almost any of you spindly milkmaids. Now in a fight against tomorrow, none of you have a chance. The ravens laugh. Well, who could hope to stand against the unkillable Krumer, quips Spar. Nobody yet, but I hope someday to face down Asunder, says Krumer. Spar grins. What about Asunder Slayer? There's a long silence. What do you think, Sunder Slayer? Krumer asks, putting you on the spot. You think you could take me? I wouldn't even need both arms. The others respond with delight. Now that's something I'd pay to see. But you know what I think? We need to get moving. The others grumble and roll their eyes, but soon you're back on the road. Yeah, morale's just gonna keep declining, man. There's nothing I can do about that. Brambles rise ahead of you like gnarled hands reaching toward the sky, their fingers peppered with thorns. This was once a healthy forest, now just another obstacle. Bolivar knew we'd have a little choice but to pass through here. Going around would cost days. Consider your inevitable approach. Keep a tight formation, cutting down attackers as they come. Take a rest before pushing into the forest. Folka, what's your gut say? Now, Tim, I'm gonna ask you again. What do you think?
Ask Falca.
Her tired head shake is telling. They'll use the trees so we can tell numbers or direction. They're not worried about losses. Once they start coming, I don't expect them to stop. Standing our ground is a sure way to be overrun, but we should go now before they've really dug in. She pauses a moment before adding, this is gonna suck. All right, well, just go then. Keep a tight formation, cutting down attackers as they come. Shields, Folker calls in a tone you're starting to become familiar with. The Ravens do their best, but progress is slow. Each fallen creature is replaced by two more. Eventually, find yourself stopped and surrounded. Cut a swath, Folka huffs, before we can push any further. Watch the flanks. All right. Let's fucking do it.
Let's Falca do it.
Let's fucking do it. All right. No one in sight. I'm telling you, man, this would be such a fucking cool animated series. I honestly want to see like a cartoon of this so badly now. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I'd pay good money for that.
Oh boy. You know what? You could just fuck off immediately. Shit. Oh, he's doing the fucking hammer swirl bullshit. Let's see. Put that lightning on him. Now, at the end of the last stream for this game, I do want you to just tell me about all the differences that happened in your playthrough, or at least the big, like, significant ones, or at least the ending, depending, especially if I get, like, the bad ending.
Oh, absolutely. That's like the funnest part.
Shit, that's another big one, too. A lot of big ones. Just kind of throwing your tentacles up all over me. Alright. Shit. Oh, Tim, here's an interesting thing. I haven't really gone and actually watched it yet, but I've rediscovered it in a just a broad sense as far as just remembering that this thing exists. Now, let me first ask: do you know of the cartoon? It was on MTV in like the early 2000s, or maybe even the late 90s. Now I can't remember. It was called Aeon Flux, and they made a terrible big budget Hollywood movie
I
about
did
it.
see that.
So you remember that terrible live-action movie with Charlize Theron? But it's originally a very cool, very weird and unique, stylized animated series that was on MTV back in the day. Now, I'm assuming you did not know about that animated series until just now.
I did not.
Okay. So, so there's that, which I would highly encourage you or anyone to watch. I think that's a great weird cartoon, especially if you want something to get stoned and just watch. That's just strange and odd. Totally totally worthwhile. Um, but the same animator also did the animation for the same team did the animation for a Japanese anime that was a sci-fi futuristic retelling of the life of Alexander the Great, but a Japanese anime in a sci-fi setting.
Oh, that just sounds intensely cool.
And it's like just unbelievably gay from what I remember. Like in a way that it's like, yeah, of course it would be because it's fucking Greece. Like, yeah, they were unbelievably gay. That's just how it was. But yeah, I would even encourage you look like even just while we're streaming, just Google. It's Reign, Reign, like Reign the Conqueror is the name of the show. And just like the art style by itself is so kind of weird looking.
Like, art style is reason enough for me to give a show a shot. Like,
I
that's
also
what I
believe you can
gave
watch it for
Arcane
free
with.
on YouTube.
Just like Major Lazer.
Dude, Major Lazer is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Like, just to
Yeah.
be honest, and I wish that there was more of it.
Now, did you know that there's live action Major Lazer music videos?
No, I didn't know that. That's
And do you
amazing,
know
though.
who plays Major Lazer live action?
Who?
Terry Crews.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, God damn it. More guys coming into the fight again.
And he does a phenomenal job. And the lore of Major Lazer begins first and foremost.
I cannot
with-
believe there's lore to Major Lazer. That's amazing.
Well, yeah. Like General Rubbish, he was in the music videos.
Right. No, yeah. Oh, shit. I didn't leave enough spaces. This is getting rough. And there's more dudes coming in on this. Like, how are you supposed to do this? But anyway, no, sorry, continue with the Major Lazer lore.
Just, the typical enemies like Double Cup and Major Lazer, they're all, or like Evil Laser.
Evil Laser.
God damn it, Juliana.
Oh, do you have it turned on so that is actually another player coming at you each time, or are you doing it?
I think right now it's another player. Because I am playing online.
Nice. That is a really cool mechanic because then you could play as Juliana and invade anyone else's game. So it's interesting because it is a little flavor of Dark Souls multiplayer, just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, that is very Souls-esque.
Because I can't think of a lot of games that have had that. You know. Yeah, we're totally gonna die here. Is there a? Can you even win these? Like Jesus Christ.
I killed Juliana at the same time as she killed me. That was pretty poetic. Only I didn't have any more lives.
Oh, that's too bad. I get the thing is eventually with enough loops, you're gonna be able to just you do eventually, build up to being able to save all the equipment you want, and then you do just have you will just start. Eventually, you'll start out with all the stuff that you really want to have.
I like that eventually they let you skip the beach.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you can only see it so many times before you're like, all right, I get it. Come on, let's go.
That'd be like if they made Sam fucking have to walk back to his character every time he died.
Now, so Tim, you said you started like the first Dishonored, but you didn't play like a lot of it. Like just dipped your toe in.
Yeah, that's about what it's been so far.
Well, I mean, you already said it yourself, but I would encourage check going back and giving them another go, especially since you're enjoying Deathloop so much, because there are a lot of similarities to the gameplay. In fact, many of the powers that you get in Deathloop are just powers from Dishonored that have been reskinned, to be completely honest. Computer Force is irksome at the best of times, nearly intolerable in these conditions. Lightning rips through dead branches. A scalded path opens ahead. Then you fall unconscious. When your eyes open again, it's to the sight of Ridgehorn rising on a hill ahead. You're outside of the forest. Why didn't you do that sooner, you gasp. It does not come without a price, Juno replies. Yeah, shit, there was no way I was going to beat that with how many of them were fucking just coming into that fight. You see him, says Volka. Bolverk stands motionless far up the hill, clearly watching the caravan. Now I know how it feels for all those poor bastards who saw us coming. Hard to know what he's thinking at this point, says Ollie, expecting us to do what he'd do or the opposite, or expecting that we'd expect him to. Spar pipes up. Know what I'd do? Cook some food. Sleep, but he won't see that coming. You're just tired of walking, old man. Volka blinks. Spar might be right. We'll make it look suspicious enough to throw him off, and everyone rests before Ridgehorn. No lookout, you ask? As they prepare the campfire, Volka shakes her head. That's what makes it look like a trick. But do whatever you like, I won't stop you. Put your trust in Volka's hands and lay on the hard ground. Time passes slowly. Soft crunching catches your attention. You swear under your breath, grabbing for your axe, but your hand finds empty air. In a panic, you jump to your feet and scan the ground. No axe. The crunching gets louder, turns into thumping. Tree branches abandoned, cradled bundles of snow. Like a blood moon, Bellower suddenly storms out of the darkness in gleaming red armor. There is your missing axe, jutting from a bleeding bundle in his arms. The ground shakes from his roar. Poor sleep, Ivor, Alfred asks. She crouches over the fire, her strange shape fluttering in the firelight. The campsite is still, aside from the gentle crackle of firewood. Just dreams. Some people think dreams are omens. Those people are idiots. But they can certainly be a fine distraction from our troubles. Not my sort of distraction. I'm sorry if I dredged up old memories back at the Godstone, so to speak. There's more to that story. Would you like me to tell you? I think you should. You've heard one half already, how the Valka came forth during the Second Great War with fire and fury to push the sculptors to extinction. She gestures theatrically. So I've heard. Perception. Paint themselves the heroes. What the Valka really did was make their foes a promise. Abandon the war and they'd share secret knowledge. The Valka taught them to write. They taught the stone singers to weave. And for the first time, the sculptors learn how to make more sculptors to thrive. Oh, shit. They kept their end of the bargain and remained hidden, at least until recently. How do you know this? They have their own history and carvings. I've read it on great black stones in their dark home, as their trusted guest. What I don't understand is why you trust these Valka. You stare into the fire, and it shows you old shapes. When you speak, it's almost as if to yourself. When I killed Reyes, when I returned to my kind with her head, Ingvar, they chanted. None had slain asunder before. They wanted to make me the king's kender. I couldn't. They haunted me, Bellower and Reyes, and that damn child, every night like tonight. Maybe it sounds like nothing to have bad dreams, but it rubs you raw. It gets in your bones. So I left the Varl. You know what? Just speaking just briefly about dreams, last night, because I never remember my dreams, but I did when I woke up this morning, I had a dream. It was me, Alex, and Ulysses doing like an Ocean's 11 like heist to get a copy of a Matrix video game for the Nintendo Wii from a GameStop at like a shopping mall. But it was like really dramatic, the heist, like with the like the spy music and everything. But that's all we were getting was like a Matrix video game for the Wii. But it was like the framing and like the sound of it all and like the actual presentation of the dream, as much as I remember it, actually felt like one of those heist movies. And you know the thing? They never made any Matrix games for the Wii. So that doesn't even exist.
Man, why don't we have any?
Matrix games for the Wii? I don't know. The Matrix was not in the pop culture zeitgeist by the time the Nintendo Wii was around. It was about 6 years too late. Although I wish they would do something with the Matrix. Something good. I wish. I would love. I'm begging honestly for something with the Matrix to be good. It's not going to happen anytime soon though. Found a small town of men where nobody knew who I was. Nobody called me Ingvar. Ivor never had dreams like that in Skoger. That's why you agreed to come with Juno and Imond. The truth is, Juno didn't ask me to join them. I asked her. The flames continue to dance hypnotically. On that bridge in Eitertoft, I stood before Bellower. I could have moved, but I just held up my shield and waited for the end. What's that, Ivor? The name snaps you out of your trance. You stand and stretch your legs. Your axe is where you left it, and the ravens are beginning to stir in their tents. It's nothing. That was great. That was really great, and some good stories. So the Valka. So that's why there's so fucking many of them, of the Dredge, because the Valka taught them how to make more of themselves as though they were themselves gods. Or they themselves menders. Interesting. Yeah. That's cool. That's a big story beat right there. That's fucking interesting. First he tosses in his sleep until he finally huffs and gives up. He sees you're also awake and comes to sit nearby. Trouble? I don't know how these damned ravens do it. I can't just pass out at a moment's notice. Are you not one of the ravens? I could see how you might get that impression. I joined Bolverk at Beauregard because the Bulk asked me to, and when that went wrong, I got roped into this like everyone else. Percy wears a frown and leans on his axe handle. Juno and Ivan asked for you personally. Let's not turn this into something bigger than it is. Alfred had something interesting to say about that. She said you tried to kill her when she was training to be a mender. Gods, did I? I've tried to kill so many menders. That's my favorite response that anyone in the game has given to any question I've asked. That came out wrong. The Volca have a pretty rigorous final test for new candidates. It involves some stabbing and some shouting, to make sure the menders can do what they need to do under stress and pain. They got some scary-looking Varl, me, to play the kidnapping brigand and rough him up. They don't all make it back. Still feel bad for one poor kid. Can't remember his name. Some backwoods farm boy. Not too bright. I thought for sure he had no chance. He almost made it. Almost. But anyway, Alfred was one of those kids. I've been doing this longer than I thought. Hope she doesn't hold a grudge. Mercer wears a frown and leans on his axe. So you work for yourself. Never could get into that our bones the hills stuff like the rest of you. Why should I care about the dredge or dying in battle? I'd rather have the means to do what I want, live comfortably, eat well. Turns out there's a lot of men out there thrilled to hire a Varl for some blood work, so I thought I'd do that for a little while. Now it's a lifetime later, and I never got rich from it. Spent my whole life chasing work while others profited. One time I traveled with a prince and his tax collector. Thought that was going to be my big payday. People just handed their money over, piled it right into a huge cart because we told them they had to. Practically robbery. Eventually the cart fell over a cliff and exploded into a shower of gold coins, never to be seen again. Never shed a tear over killing a man, but that, I cried like a lost baby bird. Damn, where's Bercy been the whole game? I like him. Has he been here? Have we just not talked to him very much? Like, I've
I
just
think
forgotten
so.
about him. Happened pretty damn close to this very spot. Now that I think about it, I can't leave this darkness though. It's probably all twisted up and dark as dog turds now. Anyway, maybe there's a moral there, but I'm not digging for it. Bercy wears a frown. What do you think about this job? If you mean the Valka, you'd be a fool to trust them. I've done some questionable stuff on their behalf, let me tell you. And if you mean saving the world, I couldn't care less. What has the world ever done for me? These days, I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. Still the tiniest sparkle of hope that I might profit from this somehow. Pretty bleak way to live. Nothing left to lose, nothing but sleep anyway. All right. Looks like it's time to get going. You know, Ivor, when I worked for the Valka, one of the jobs they paid me to do was to find you. You'd gone into hiding and they wanted to know where. Do I dare ask why? Truth is, I don't know why. I don't ask questions, but I never found you. I have a feeling if I had, things would have ended up differently between us. So I'm glad I never sniffed around in any small towns like Skoker, for example. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Now, Tim, do you know how much of this particular chapter is left?
Oh,
See
it
the
can't
tower
be,
just over the
can't
ridge.
be long now.
Well, based on him saying that we can see the tower, I'm definitely thinking we're close. Volverk is waiting ahead, Juno says, and the caravan slows. He is patient with dangerous allies. I believe he intends us to stop us from entering Ridgehorn. I will lead Bolverk away, Juno says. Ivan looks blankly into the distance as though he already knew what was coming. But Juno continues. The rest of you will wait for my return within Ridgehorn. How are you going to deal with Bolverk? He cannot be controlled, but he can be misled. He doesn't know where we're headed, but I will believe he is pursuing us past Ridgehorn, says Juno. I will return one way or another. Volka steps forward. I don't trust you. Even if I did, you can't handle Bolverk on your own. And we split the caravan, she volunteers herself. Oli and Spar, who give each other dubious looks. I don't take orders, remember? Okay, well, what's the best turnout here, Tim? Oh God. I mean, that's three pretty drastic options. Either Juno goes by herself, we split the caravan in half, or everyone stays together. Interesting. Interesting.
I would insist everyone stays together.
Before you can protest, you feel Juno's gaze weigh heavily upon you. Protect Ivan, she says. That would be for the best. You realize Juno departs ahead of the caravan until her own light disappears over her head. Oh, so Juno just went anyway. The rest of the caravan cautiously approaches Ridgehorn, Ivan carrying the light. Fresh footprints trail off into the snow, following Juno's diversion. The way appears clear. So she just went off on her own, regardless of what we were going to say.
Yeah.
All right. All right. This feels like it's coming up on a chapter end here, for sure.
Now they say it's the entrance to another world. How far did you hold?
Gotta be close to it. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, there's actual like voice acting kicking in, so it feels like it's gonna be the end of a chapter. It definitely feels like it. Shit. Ridgehorn, this brings back some memories. None of them good. I think honestly, my only real complaint with these games is that the voice acting is good whenever it pops up that I wish more of the game was voice acted. You know?
Yeah. The voice acting is tremendously quality.
Doorway leading to give me some time, he says, running off toward the base of the tower. You can see him waving his Volca staff, having enormous chunks of rock aside through sheer willpower. Little help shouts Volgar, drawing your attention back to the fort's courtyard. Bolvark is nowhere in sight, but his warped allies didn't miss you slipping over the bridge. All right, so I'm assuming this is going to be the last big fight. Yes, I know, Kat, that there's a new cord in the room. There's a new cord, and that means you immediately want to fuck with it. But I'm gonna have to ask you to not do that. Hey, please, please, can you leave it alone? Hey, can you please leave it alone? She's trying so hard to get away. All right, make it quick before Bolvark finds out what happened here. Jesus, there's a lot of them. God damn. All right. Not quite far enough. Oh, God, okay. Nice. That lined
I
them
think
up
I'm
good.
gonna take it off of online play.
Yeah, is that making it... That makes the game much harder. We played mostly... Because we streamed that game.
It's just
all the way through.
ridiculously difficult to make progress when you're killed by Juliana and you can't make any, because I just had somebody that just waited near the end of the level for me to kind of wear myself down,
Yep.
and then he's bam as soon as I engaged a tough enemy.
Hey, at
ridiculous.
least unlike Dark Souls, you can turn it off.
Yeah. And
Shit.
luckily with Elden Ring, you have to do a Furl calling finger to summon allies.
Right.
So whenever you're doing online cooperative play, you have to be open to being invaded.
Right. Well, I figured.
Which sucks, but at the same time, that's something easy to overcome when I am essentially God 2.0.
Well, right, you're gonna be just like...
They're gonna be invading little level 10 Leroy. And then big level 200 something.
Oh, I almost got it. I almost turned the camera fast enough. One of the cats just came in and just shoved her entire head inside the dog's ear. And I have no idea why. And this was just digging in his ear and then walked away. Oh shit. What's happening now? Oh, wait, what? Juno? She's back already?
I set up several pipe bombs along our way.
If only. Now, when you turn off that multiplayer component in the game, you will still get Julianas coming after you. It's just that they will be AI controlled and far easier to deal with.
Yeah, that's something, because I'm more than fine with dealing with the AI.
I killed a ton of those. I never had a huge issue with that. Or it was never super hard to kill the AI version.
No, earlier on, the first couple times you fight her, she's a AI. But as soon as they started going into players, I was like Christ on a cross.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy when somebody's really good. Christ, man.
Fuck Fucking Juno is useless in combat.
Oh, she sucks. She's fucking terrible.
I didn't know she resurrected at all because I just never used her in combat.
I didn't even mean to here, but she just kind of came in and was part of the fight anyway. Yeah, I know we're not done yet. Yep, no, does every character need to say that? God damn, Juno.
God damn. But yeah, like 3 or 4 hours into Deadloop. Or Deathloop, whatever. And it's coming off pretty nice. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Same with the Neo remaster, because I'm assuming it's a remaster, right?
I mean, it came out for the PlayStation 4 originally, I think, anyway, so...
Oh, well then, yeah, that is just the
I think that's just the
first
game.
one I've been playing.
Because then there's the second one, which the second one in particular, I've heard a lot of praise for from Jeff from Rage Select, who is like, you know, always been like a like I remember when the first Dark Souls came out, and I had no intention of playing it, but I heard like on the Spill video game podcast back then, which was called the Loading Bar, because they would all be like drinking during the game. I thought that was a clever name. But he was like going on and on and on and on about how just awesome Dark Souls was, and I was like, it sounds like something that's too hard for me, but it's you know, I'm glad people are enjoying it. But who would have thought all these years later I could say that I've played all of them?
Yeah, and I am very interested to see what they're coming, because they said they're still all hands on deck with Elden Ring.
Right.
And you're not doing that almost 9 months into a game's lifespan just for like the servers. Like they're making
they're making more content. They're absolutely making more content for it.
And that's like, I wish we had reliable insiders as to like what's happening, but the thing is, like, there is no one outsider that's really truly in the know.
No. Yeah, but you know what? That's honestly good though, because
I
let them have their surprise.
Do it.
When they do find like how long did we just how many years was it that we literally knew nothing about Elden Ring except for like a CGI teaser that told us very little, and then when they finally did show it, they showed a ton at once, and it was really cool, and everybody loved it. It's like, just let them wait and let them have their surprise. They'll show it when it's ready. People having patience is a lost art. It really, really is.
That's why I'm patient and waiting patiently for Bloodborne 2 to come out.
Right. Hopefully at some point.
Because with the ending where you become the moon god, that is incredibly open-ended. Like, there are so many things that could happen. There's also the one where you just wake up the next morning knowing full well that there will eventually be another hunt.
Right.
Plus they talked about like half a dozen outer gods that
Never
their
even
influence exists, but we don't see them.
I Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing about like the lore is so expansive in every Souls game that you could do a sequel to any of them because I mean, I guess Dark Souls you got 3, so that one did get that, but like any of them have all of this lore that you could at least in theory like extrapolate on and do sequels like
And like the DLC for Bloodborne was going into the Hunter's Nightmare, which was a parallel realm to the Hunter's Dream that
right.
served as some form of purgatory for hunters. And so, like, with something as relatively convoluted as that, it should be relatively straightforward to have any amount of time travel and unlock the amount of story you can do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, like I don't know how you're supposed to beat these when more enemies just keep coming onto the screen, like kind of like
Yeah,
no
it's
matter how
called
many you take
fuck
out.
you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's definitely what it feels like.
One
Well, this
thing I
this
think,
turn will be done though for sure. I'll definitely be dead soon.
yeah, Elden Ring definitely did take the idea of outer gods from Bloodborne as kind of like one of its motifs. Because
Oh yeah.
I want to say like between 6 and 8 different cosmic or like outer gods, like gods from other worlds that have influence on the lands in between.
Okay.
And some of them are more overt and have like spells like or that are related, like the god of the giants, that was a fire god. You get to fight him at one point. You get to see kind of the influence of Shibiri, the outer god of madness.
There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Shabiri. Shabiri, Shibuya,
Or Shibriri, one of the two.
Shabiri. All right. Well, I don't know how I could have possibly won that battle because, good God. I can only imagine how much worse it would have been if he were here. Yeah, you don't know how you're still alive, but you wake to see the Bravens gather around the corpse of Bercy. His head is missing, possibly rolled off the cliff's edge. They pay their respects before covering the body. Now, if I'd won that fight, would he have lived?
Yes.
See, how was I supposed to win that though? They just kept coming. Fuck. All right. Scorch marks cover the ground, and you spy a pale image of Juno ascending the Tower of Ridgehorn in your head, and you hear her thin voice. When you are ready, join me. She must have given Bulwark the real runaround, says Spar. Keeps glancing at the bridge as if he's expecting to summon the Berserker by name alone. Think I better make sure Ivan's almost done. How about I whistle when it's time to go? Alfred offers to ferry you anywhere you need to go. Okay. Shortcut.
Oof. Yeah,
Arrive safely at
I didn't
Ridgehorn.
have Bercy die.
Damn. All right. All right. Let's talk to you real quick.
I also didn't have need to leave my party.
Oh wait. Which one?
Nid
Wait.
the archer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She didn't leave. Damn. Well, yeah. Things aren't going well. Clearly.
Because if she flees, I think, I'm not positive, but I think she dies with all of her kids.
Oh shit. All right. That's dark.
Like, I remember reading something about the outcome for, like, one of the darker endings for Arborang. But she and her 2 youngest kids managed to survive. I think her 2 oldest died.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
the
think
older.
she gets a totally happy ending.
Sure. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I can't keep this. Take it. Take it. It's not getting me laid anymore. Not like this leg spill anyway. Smiles, pleased with himself. Don't seem too upset about facing death. Upset about dying? Varl, I'm more upset about living. Do you know what it's like taking a piss 3 times a night but only waking up twice? No, death sounds fine. Sounds fine. But I'll tell you what, I'll miss my life. Secret for us poor bastards with short lifespans? It's love. Sounds like a bunch of rot, I know, but if you don't love life, it'll make you miserable. Learn that from a lady friend. Smiles. Where did you learn to play? What do you mean? Who taught me? Nay, nobody taught me. It was a festival, biggest of the year. Ballarat's too young to hold my drink, sipping from every unwatched cup I could find. There's a spat happening. One guy built like a bear howling at another man over his girl, or I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Other poor bastard, he's a mouse. You ever see one of those guys? Thin beard, wide eyes, ready to run? Brute comes at him with the knife pulled right out of his dinner, and the mouse is soiling himself, climbing over tables to get away. Everyone's loving it. Even the musicians stop to watch. I'm off my head drunk, and I'm thinking, by the gods, this needs a good song. So I grab the instrument and go wild, sawing and screaming. The thing just sings in my hand. At least in my head, it's a masterpiece. It must have sounded like a boiled cat. Mountain of a man, he slowly looks over at me with the most complete confusion I've ever seen, and I just remember, next moment, there's a knife in his neck. The mouse got him. Even drunk as I was, I knew it was because of me, and I've been playing ever since. Frankly, it's a damn tragedy, wasting my talents on these ungrateful monsters. He smiles, pleased with himself. All right. If those two don't find this passage soon, Bolvark will fain find us right in our puckered asses. Yeah. Thanks for the horn. Make sure nobody does anything disgusting with it. And enjoy it, too. It's not a bloody decoration. It's a gift from the God-blessed ravens. All right. Yeah, everybody's fucked up. And there's not even a rest option here.
Especially Bercy. Doesn't even have a head.
Yeah, right. Like, he's really not doing well. All right. I know we're a little over your usual time limit, but I have a feeling we're right at the end of the chapter here, and then that is specifically just get to that, and we will wrap it up there. And you could always duck out a little sooner if you need to.
Now, if you notice, some of the ribs of that serpent are showing.
I did see that.
It's starting to rot.
Right. Yeah. No, that's not. Yeah. I thought you'd be helping Ivan. Had to check out something. Look to the horizon. The serpent writhes in the distance. It knows we're here, but won't approach, hopefully. Is it scared of you? Scared? I don't think it understands such things. For now, it is just trying to discover what we will do next. I know the feeling. These horn towers are portals. The Menders built long ago. They allow us to enter the inner earth, the dredge home. I know the dredge came from below, but inner earth? Like caverns? No, not at all. Imagine another world with sun and sky like our own, but within our own. Oh, dude, it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
This will be a dangerous path, but the quickest route to the place where Ivan will undo all of this. Juno sees the skepticism on your face without looking. I also came here to speak with you privately. I know Ivan may seem unusual or unapproachable, but he is a good person. You seem an unlikely pair. Usually if you have to tell someone, you're not bad. You are right. I have been careful to protect everyone, but in doing so only create more doubt. The fact is I saved him and he saved me. He is kind and devoted. There's a smile on her face and you realize that it may be the first you've seen. I don't know how to talk about it without sounding like an infatuated girl. I truly love him. I don't want to excuse things to say the Valka lead different lives, hard in their own way, but don't we all deserve to be loved by those who would do anything for us? You have to admit it's hard knowing what I should believe. It's hard to know what I should believe. It is not lost on me. When you asked to come with us, I was uncertain. I didn't want you to take you away from loved ones, but I'm glad to have you here. I consider you a friend, one of the few Ivan and I have left. I will do what needs to be done to fix all this, no matter the cost. And I've decided that no matter what happens, I will not influence you again. I promise you that. Trust is important. A whistle reaches you on the wind. You leave the churning coils of the serpent on the horizon and return to where the others have already entered the tower. You join the others already waiting in the enormous chamber beneath the tower. So what do you expect to happen next, Spar? Sputters? Ivan steps to the edge. We jump. Oh, Jesus, all right. Heavy footsteps echo off high walls, and a dreadful outline stands in the doorway. Well done, witch. Made a fool of me again. Even from here, oh, he can talk still. Interesting. Even from here, you can tell he's shaking with a rage. Ivan screams for everyone to jump, but there is only hesitation. Folka turns and walks to Bolverk. Oh God. Caravan watches Folka with rapt anticipation. I doubt we'll get another chance to talk, Bolverk, so I had to know. Is there anything left of you in there? I never left, Folka. You left. We thought it was what you wanted. I thought I was following orders. What's done is done. Yeah, that does sound like you. You get as close as you dare, and the two barely acknowledge your presence. Should I just remain silent? Should I just let him talk? That's not, because I don't think that's him anymore.
I will let you know that based off the rate of people dying lately, your choice here will influence whether or not she lives.
So should I not? That's not him anymore? Or he'll kill you.
I'm pretty sure he'd kill her.
Alright, we'll go with that one. Better listen to him. I'm almost as unpredictable as the company you keep. What if the Volca can undo this? What if they really can? Doesn't have to end like this, you stubborn dolt. They lied to you. They're lying still. Bolverk points his axe at the Volca. He points his ass at the Volca. He points his axe at the Volca, and static flickers across Ivan's shaking hands. Those two took our reputations. They took our freedom. They took my life. They did all of this. Even if they saved the world, I won't allow it. Are you kidding me? Life's not fair. Is that your argument? Even when I was 8 years old, I never gave you such sniveling dribble. Don't destroy everything we made to save your pride. The Ravens need you. So do I. Feel the slightest shift in Bolverk's demeanor, but in a blink it's gone. Jump down the rabbit hole, Folka. I won't stop coming until every one of you is dead. That's all you've got for me? Folka snatches Bolverk's axe from her belt, the one he threw near Strand, and pushes it into his hand. If this is just revenge, why wait? Pull her away. Jump, Folka. Yeah, pull her away. I'm not taking that chance. Things are suddenly moving too quickly to react. You heave Folka aside as Bolverk cleaves through one of your horns and buries his axe in the side of your face. Hot blood sputters force, your sight darkens and the room spins, but somehow Folka manages to drag you to the pit. So he lost an arm and he lost an eye. Lightning arcs from Ivan's staff, scorching the ground around you in wild patterns, catching Bolverk's fur cloak on fire. Ravens reluctantly leap into the pit and you follow, tumbling down into the darkness as the light from the hole above recedes. A roar rings in your ears like the bellow of a thunder. Bolverk leans over the edge, his face wreathed in flames from the smoldering cloak. It's the last thing you see before everything goes black. There we go, chapter 20. Okay. Cool. All right. And 23 total, right?
I believe so.
All right.
And now that you've made the decision and she's lived, if you would have trusted her intuition, he just beheads her right there.
Shit. All right. Yeah, glad I didn't.
Yeah, especially because she's going to be one of your stronger fighters in that group.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sometimes you awaken more tired than when you fell asleep. This is one of those times. Alea was silently sitting bedside. Were you watching me sleep? What? No. Yes. I mean, Oddleaf sent me to get you. Wasn't sure whether to shake you awake or let you... What's happening? Nothing good. Even without Rugga, his followers are stirring up new trouble out by the gates. Oddleaf's trying to talk some sense into them now. Oddleaf's there by herself. She wanted to let you rest, but by the time I left, things were starting to become heated. Hate to say it, but we should bring as many clansmen as we can find. It could be a grave mistake to leave them behind. You don't think they'll be safer here? I don't think we'll be safe without them. Okay. And there we go. That is the stream. Well, Tim, that was a good one. Made a lot of progress.
Yeah, we made an absolute butt ton of progress this one.
Now, do you still think only one, or do you still think two more, or do you think maybe only one?
I'm thinking two more.
Two more still? Okay.
Just because there's a couple of really hard fights that are coming at some point during this. You did one of the hard fights with Raze, but there's a couple more when you actually fight Bolverk. He's a huge pain in the ass.
Oh, I can imagine. He just fucking sucks.
And, there's a couple new mechanics now that you're in the deep earth.
Oh, okay.
It's
more new stuff to deal with.
Yeah, more new stuff.
All right.
Don't you love it?
I mean, honestly, yeah, these games are fucking great. I will end up replaying these. Like, well, I guess I actually have already started replaying the first one in a separate save slot. So, yeah. But all right,
Well,
awesome.
there you
Well,
go.
Tim, thank you for being here as always and staying a little late with me. Uh, this has been great, and we're gonna raid Ash versus Evil Bread tonight.
The
But
evil bread.
Ash versus Evil Bread. Oh, she's got like a pinhead makeup on. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. Yeah, I guess if you're watching this later, the next time that we'll be on will be Tuesday, back with God of War, with gnomes, cannibalism, and politics. We will see you then. Have a good night, everybody.
Or else.
Or else.